are some uneducated people that can still advise their husband, and they will
which is
take
why
to that advice.
which is why I think you are also almost an illiterate now. It's been very long you left school. How do you think somebody is uneducated can advise? Advice on what? You know why I love the Europeans? Everything they do, they have a coach for it. If you are not sleeping, well, there's a coach for sleeping. To cut your nails, fingernails well, there's a coach for it. To put food in your mouth, they will teach you how to use cutleries and all. Africans, nobody teaches us anything. We just assume everything. The only reason why Africans are better in other parts of the world is they go into, we have high value based on nature. We have tolerance, we can exist in chaos. All those people abroad, they cannot exist in chaos. We've been living where there's mosquito, where there's no light. So once you go abroad with your capacity that you have underutilized or not used at all here, and you put it to use there, you will be very excellent. That's why people abroad are good. But provided those people that are good abroad are here in Nigeria, they will not be anything. Because all you will look for is to hustle for food. Because otherwise, how will somebody think that somebody is uneducated with advice? What are you going to advise? I had a staff who was always asking her mom for advice on finance. So we tell the mom, Mommy, I have 150,000 now. What do you think I can do? That one we advise. Mommy, so after about 1.5 years, he came to me and said he's not having headway. That is like there's somebody devil is doing him from home. So I told him, every time you need financial advice, who do you call? He said, my mom. Very beautiful. And I didn't want to bust his ego, but I had to bust it at the end. So I said, okay, once you call your mom, where does your mom work? He said, nowhere. What do your mom do? He said, nothing. That is the one that really sends 10, 20,000 to the mom every month for food. So I said, are you dumb? He said, no, sir. But you are foolish. He said, not really, sir. I said, I'm telling you as a point of fact, you are foolish. And the reason why I'm telling you, number one, I'm the boss at work, so there's no point. There's nothing you will tell me. You won't say I'm insulting you. But I was pissed off. You are asking a mother who cannot figure out how to feed herself financial advice. So I said, okay, tell me 2 or 3 of the advices that your mom has given you. First, number one, she said, give your younger brother in the house to be doing POS. Back in the village, not in the city. That send the money home to your brother, and then your brother will be sending you profit. How much profit has he sent? Nothing, because they say everything is hard now, so he's supporting them at home. So they've collected that one money from you. What was the second advice? They said you should buy Okada and give it to somebody else. Where again? In the village. I'm like, did you see a pattern? He said no. I said, so why are you telling me the third time? He said, because I don't even know what to do again. So apart from the fact that you are just feeding them, which is good or bad, as depending on the tabular form you want to use, but I'm telling you genuinely, how do you ask for idea for somebody who has never done it before? Idea is easy to give. Oh. I can make the hair that is on your head. What's there? Today I'll just take this, I just do like this.
That's just mouth.
Is that not what an illiterate does? They just use mouth. Because the only time something is proven is when you run it through litmus test of life. That means you should have done it. As I'm talking to you now, a lot of youth are on social media ranting, men are this, girl are this, but you've never been married. So when I tell you this is how to love a woman, you would argue with me because you are single. So you think marriage is the girl that comes to your house to live with you, that you are not married to. You think that is love. Somebody that you can't call the father. Do you know what it means that the problem of all your family members are on the same person? The problem of my family is on my wife. The problem of my wife's family is on me. Whether you like it or not, they are not going to ask you directly. But if you hear today that mommy needs something, is that not your problem already? If my own mom needs something, is that not a problem already? But if your girlfriend mommy needs something, what's your own?
No concern.
If you are too much, you will change to girlfriend number 2. Yes. But do you change to wife number 2? If you like have 100 concubines or girlfriends, they are all wala because your wife is still your priority, even if you are a sinner. So I'm telling you it's different. But every youth use the eye of their relationship to get married. And they are forgetting that once you are angry with your wife, you can't go anywhere. If you are angry with your husband, you can't go anywhere. You still sleep in the same house on the same bed if you are living in the same room. But if it's a girlfriend, I will keep quiet. Maybe you just came for Friday, you will go on Sunday. You don't have a choice, you will leave on Sunday. So if you like, put your head on the ground and put your feet up, I will keep quiet and let you go. And never ever will you enter my office again or my house. So you see the difference. But now as a husband, wife is not going anywhere. So immediately she asks, you are going to start reacting immediately. That's why there is a lot of quarrel in marriages. Because she's not going anywhere, you are not going anywhere. So the problem you will fight and fight until it's resolved. But in relationship, let me just keep quiet. No worry now, it's your fault. It's not your fault. Now me send you transport, maybe you come meet me for Ogbomoso. You understand? So at the end of the day, it's different. But the youth now think it's the same, and they advise the same. So advices are easy, very easy. It's one of the easiest things in the world. But reality is different. I can use my mouth to make business. Assuming I have 1 million now, I'll just first of all, I'll rent this container. I'll do barbing. I'll quickly learn barbing. They say it's not difficult. Within 3 months, I learn it. Then I'll put 2 boys there. I'll buy glass. Then every month I'll be making 600. Who's going to stop you from saying all of that? Nobody. Because it's easy to decide. Oh yeah, now take number one. Where do you get the 1 million? Then you start saying, if not that Buhari or Shibadi or Tinubu or whatever you're going to mention. So now you have hit the roadblock. And then when you have the 1 million, you won't remember to go and buy container. You first remember the screen of your phone is bad, you change it. So the money is no longer 1 million. Then around that time, your mom will now call you, they're hungry. You send 10,000. Say, because it's my mother, she's been suffering on me. Inside that time, your girlfriend too will now need one urgent 5K. So by the time you finish and then your rent, you remember, let me manage 700. Wahala don come o. But in the initial stage when you are using your mouth to do it, you didn't spend 1 million like that. No. So there's a difference between, and when you start spending the 700, that's how you now know that it will take you 6 months to learn back. Then you will look for who to work with you, and you will not find. Or you will now find the one that will first of all steal your clipper and exchange it with the bad clipper. That's when you will now face reality. And at that point, your money remains 60,000. And then the house rent that you thought you would pay for 250, they have increased it to 350. So the layers of problem, and then you won't have time to sleep. Then you gotta drink alcohol. Where do you get the money for alcohol? From the same 1 million. By the time you finish the process, business don't end. You now say, no, wait, it's not wait. There's a difference between them say, I will do and I have done. For somebody who have done it, they are the ones that know the route, they are the ones that can advise. And I'm not even saying, don't ask your friend who has not done something advice. Because it's your best friend. Your best friend is single. You are married. There is no way in hell and in heaven that we have the right to advice. No way. If you have somebody who is married to a rich man, if your own husband is poor, there is no way he would understand how it goes on with rich man. Because he will tell you, my husband take care of you. He has time for me. He takes care of you with his 300,000. This other person that doesn't have time is a CEO that runs a multi-million company. You are just seeing them as the same guy. They are not the same guy. Their senses are not the same. What they are chasing is not the same. That's why they say every cloth belongs to each person. If we have the same size and they put your clothes on me, it won't size me very well. It won't fit. If they tailored made it for you. It's like that in life. But at the end of the day, your value moves from what you do to yourself, which is your intake. It determines what comes out of you. For male and female, keep pumping value into you. Most of the things you find out about in your house has nothing to do with anything if you have value. The problem you have is you don't really have any value. So the only value you hold on to is because you are Mrs. something or because you are Mr. something.
At least that one is a value too.
Yeah, it's a value. I'm not saying it's not a value, but now this is an undervalued. It's an undervalued position, and that's why you are creating problem for the marriage or creating problem for your relationship or friendship. Because the only thing you value that has value now, just think about it now. If you have, let's say you are the owner of a company and you are running, let's say even under 50 million, and then you are just running that every single, let's say year, not even month. You have a 50 million company you are running. Would you get home from work and start asking your husband, why did he not close the bathroom door very well?
Oh, yeah.
But do you know girls that do nothing will be angry with a man? Since morning I've been cleaning. Why are you always opening the toilet bath seat? For God's sake, if I need another toilet bath seat, I can build the whole house because of toilet bath seat. If that's what my husband is doing wrong, I don't care because I have value. I'm not going to be complaining about Japajantis. But boy, oh boy, a girl who has done nothing and you are coming back from work and then you are smelling nice. The first thing is, he doesn't even know what they do at work. Why will you be smelling nice by 6:30 in the evening when you are coming back? But if a girl who has what they are doing and they are blossoming at it, of course, she already knows when you are leaving the office, you have perfumes here and there, you can spray. It's not because you have gone to look for a girl or because you have gone to work something. For a woman that doesn't have that value, we never know. So until people walk in your shoe, that's when they can value you. So for most wives, they have never walked in the shoe of husband. Husbands have never walked in the shoe of wives, and you are telling me they will understand themselves. Some of you will fight and fight till you break this house. There is nothing anybody will do. unless you come and learn sense, which is what I'm saying. You need to understand that walk in your husband's shoe, put yourself in their shoe, don't assume it, because assumption is easy. You're taking up work. What do you even do at work? Me that have been washing clothes. So you are comparing washing clothes, washing plates to whatever he does. In all fairness, sometimes washing clothes is more difficult than the job of husband at work. But because nobody pays the wife at home, it looks as he's not doing something. Husbands too should walk in the shoes of the wife. That's why I like that movie where they exchanged. Husband exchanged roles with wife. So wife will go for the work of the husband, husband went for the job of the wife. When he got to 2 weeks, they said they were going to do it for 3 months. 2 weeks into it, wife said, I no do again. Husband said, don't talk to you for us, I no do again. So God created us to be who we are. We have to appreciate and celebrate ourselves, but don't overdo your role. Because now you're saying, it's easy to fry something. When I was frying, pepper, join me here, and oil, do me here. Buy a fryer. Buy a fryer. So you don't have to fry with oil again. I'm just saying, but now you are passing the aggression to the husband. Sometimes the husband is becoming home angry. Why did you leave this place dirty? It's not as bad. You have low self-esteem. You don't enjoy what you do. And instead of you to change your narrative, you come and pass the pressure on the other party. That actually means you don't have value. A lot is involved in this. A lot is involved in this. But by and large, I wish you well in marriages. I wish you well in relationship. Everybody will carry their cross, whether you like it or not. If you like stay single, you carry the cross of people that are single. If you are married, you carry the cross of marriage. Everything in this life has the good part and bad part. Marriage has the good, bad, and bad part. Yeah, of course, being single has the good, bad, and bad part. So whatever is your own, whatever your jurisdiction is, carry on. For me, I'm married. I'm also carrying my jurisdiction. But the end will tell and justify the means. The end will tell who made the right choices. Because God has said we should go and get married. He's not stupid. He knows there will be challenges, but knows that the profit will outweigh the challenges. And I encourage you to find a way to make sure your relationship works. Because outside, no, they play.